So welcome again to this class. Is another opportunity to enlighten ourselves about code pitching. Just as I've said in the previous video, code pitching is a game of numbers. So let's quickly look at what you need for effective code pitching. If your code pitching is going to convert, if you are going to position yourself for success in the course of your code pitching efforts and process, what should you have in place? One, targeted audience. It is important to reach out to people that are well targeted. In fact, I've always said this and I will say it again. If you are marketing to everyone, you are marketing to no one in particular. So it's important that you ensure that the people you are reaching out to, you know them, you've done your homework, and you also understand their needs and pain points. You also need a compelling subject line. While creating your message, you will need to try a number of subject lines. Over the years, I've been able to try tons of subject lines like quick question, contents, ads, and so on and so forth. Why this subject line works for me, you need to research what works for your target audience, what works for your industry, and what works for the decision makers you are reaching out to. Yeah, this is another thing that is very important. You need a clear USP. Some will call it unique selling proposition. Your value proposition. Clearly explain how your service can solve the problem of your target audience and what value you're going to add to their business. So while sending your message, while it will be short, ensure that it includes everything that will help you to convert your messages. Social proof. I've always emphasized the importance of having portfolio or samples. If you have testimonials or case studies to demonstrate your credibility and show that others have benefited from your service in the past, you will do well to include that as well. But if you are a newbie and you are just getting into the market, your portfolio or samples will do the same thing for you. A strong call to action. When you are sending code pitches, it is important to make it easy for the recipients to take the next step, whether that's booking a meeting, sending a call, or visiting your website. Be clear about what you want them to do, and don't be afraid to call them to action. This is another important thing that we make or mark your code pitching efforts. Follow up. Yes, you need to follow up. Persistence usually pays off. Don't be afraid to follow up a number of times to increase your chances of getting a response. And let me also send a note of warning there. Don't let your follow-up become pestering. You have to be moderate. For me, I always recommend following up 3 to 5 times after the first message. This is another important factor that we ensure that you are in the right group of your prospect. Professionalism. Make sure your email is well written, free of typos, and looks professional. Let me tell you from my experience that a simple typo can make you lose potential clients, especially if you are in freelance writing or copywriting niche. And sometimes, even when you are not in any of this industry, most times clients want to see that you present yourself in a professional way. When you are sending, make sure you look at the name and you include the right name. That is why I mentioned in the previous video that we are not going to be using generic email. You will be addressing each email to the right prospects. Personalization, yes. When you are crafting your message, ensure that you use the recipient's names and reference their company to make your message stand out. It will make it more personalized and relevant. This decision maker, some of them are so busy, they are receiving a lot of messages each day. And because of the tons of messages they are receiving per day, there is tendency that most of it will be swept into the spam. Some will even be deleted before reading. So make sure you personalize your message and reference their company where possible. Relevance. It is important your message is relevant to the recipient industry, business size, and needs. We can go on and on. There is a message that is suitable for a particular industry. For instance, I was mentioning a number of subjects. There are some subjects that will be out of place for some industry, depending on their modus operandi. Last but not the least is perseverance. I have always said is that co-pitching is a number game. So you need to keep refining your approach and don't get discouraged by rejection. Let me tell you another secret. You will get rejection email. Thanks, we are not interested at the moment. This should not weigh you down. It should tell you one thing, that your message is getting the attention of your audience, because it is only someone that has read your message that will reply. So if your message had not reached their inbox, there is no way they would have responded. So if you are getting rejections, know that it is part of the process. In fact, expect tons of rejections. Before you get a yes, you may have a dozens of rejections. But those rejections should not keep you down. It should keep you going. So to round up, I would like to remind you again that co-pitching is a game of numbers. The more email you send to targeted audience, the more connections you make, the better chance you stand out there. So go out there, make connections, and start growing your freelance business. I can't wait to see you there. It is important to know that the 30-day code pitching challenge will require your dedication, time management, and a willingness to learn, and readiness to adapt. When you are ready to do all this, your success is quite around the corner. The question again is, are you ready to begin? The date is April 17 to Wednesday, June 17. Get ready, get set. is about to go live. Again, I ask, are you really sure you are ready? If yes, I look forward to your answer in the comments. See you in the challenge.